Have you ever pondered on the nature of good and evil? Are they universal forces or simply the result of our personal choices? A thought-provoking question indeed. We often find ourselves in the midst of this philosophical conundrum, trying to understand the essence of good and evil. Commonly, we attribute these concepts to some universal source, some cosmic battle between light and darkness. We see evil as a force that must be fought against, a villain to vanquish in our own personal epic. But what if I told you that this might not be the complete picture? What if in reality the concepts of good and evil are more intimately related to our personal choices and responsibilities? What if we told you that every action, every decision you make adds to the balance of good and evil in the world? Consider for a moment the choices you've made today. Did they add to the world's goodness or did they tip the scale towards evil? It's a sobering thought, isn't it? But it's one that can empower us to take responsibility for the world we create. Let's delve into the roots of evil. What feeds this destructive force? In our quest to understand the origins of evil, we must first acknowledge that evil isn't an external entity lurking in the shadows. It's not a tangible specter that we can wage war against. The roots of evil are far more complex and intimate than that. They stem from our personal choices and are heavily influenced by three main factors: selfishness, the desire for power, and ignorance. Selfishness is the first root we'll examine. It's an intense focus on our own needs and desires, often at the expense of others. This inward-looking perspective can blind us to the needs and feelings of those around us, leading to actions that cause pain and suffering. When we choose to prioritize our own wants above all else, we plant the seeds of evil. Next, we have the desire for power. This isn't just about political or professional power. It can be as simple as wanting control over others in our personal relationships or striving to dominate in every situation. This lust for power can lead to manipulation, coercion, and even violence. The unchecked desire for power can easily breed evil deeds. Lastly, let's consider ignorance. Ignorance isn't just a lack of knowledge, it's a willful disregard for truth and understanding. Ignorance can cause us to make harmful decisions, not only for ourselves but also for those around us. It blinds us, making us incapable of seeing the consequences of our actions. In this darkness, evil often finds fertile ground. These roots of evil, selfishness, the desire for power, and ignorance are not imposed on us from the outside. They are personal choices, decisions we make every day. They are the shadows within us that, left unchecked, can grow into destructive forces. The seeds of evil are sown within us, in our selfishness, lust for power, and ignorance. But remember, just as we have the capacity for evil, we also have the potential for immense good. It's a choice, and the power to make that choice lies within each of us. On the flip side, what does goodness look like in our lives? Consider a clear pool of water, undisturbed, reflecting the world around it. This is the image of goodness. It is free from turmoil, it is peaceful, and it mirrors back the beauty it sees. Goodness is often seen as an abstract concept, but in reality, it is as tangible and concrete as the choices we make every day. It is found in the way we treat others, in the actions we take to help those around us, and in the love we give freely and without condition. Love is a powerful manifestation of goodness. It is not merely a feeling, but a decision to place the needs and well-being of others before our own, to seek their happiness as fervently as we seek our own. It is a choice that requires us to be selfless, to be patient, and to be kind. Care, too, is an embodiment of goodness. It is the act of looking out for those around us, of taking the time to understand their needs, and of doing what we can to meet them. It is about being aware of the impact our actions have on others and making sure that impact is positive. Helping others is perhaps the most direct manifestation of goodness. It is the act of stepping in when someone is in need, of offering our time, our resources, our skills to make their lives better. It is about recognizing that we are all interconnected and that lifting up one person lifts us all. These manifestations of goodness are not just passive states of being. They are active choices we make, decisions that require effort and sacrifice. They are actions that we take day in and day out to make the world a better place. So when we talk about the manifestation of good, we are not talking about some abstract, ethereal concept. We're talking about tangible, concrete actions and choices that we can make every day. Goodness is an active choice, a decision to love, care, and help others. How can we cultivate this goodness within ourselves and our world? A question that might seem monumental, yet the answer lies in the simple actions of our everyday lives. Our journey towards spiritual self-improvement starts with overcoming personal vices. Those shadows that lurk within us, whether it's anger, jealousy, or greed, aren't permanent residents. Recognizing them for what they are, mere visitors, allows us to face them with courage and transcend beyond them. Next, we focus on nurturing our virtues, our inherent qualities that speak of our higher selves. Kindness, patience, and humility don't just make us better individuals, they also create ripples of positivity that touch the lives of those around us. The beauty of virtues is that they're not finite resources but grow and flourish the more we exercise them. Doing good deeds is another essential step on this path. These aren't grand gestures reserved for special occasions. They're small acts of kindness, a comforting word, a helping hand, a listening ear that have the power to brighten someone's day. Every good deed, no matter how small, is a step towards a world brimming with compassion and empathy. This path of spiritual self-improvement isn't just about personal growth. It's about the collective transformation of the world around us. Imagine what could happen if each one of us decided to overcome our vices, develop our virtues, and commit to performing good deeds. The world would cease to be a battleground of good versus evil and transform into a harmonious symphony of love and compassion. The journey isn't always easy. It requires courage, perseverance, and a willingness to look within. But the rewards are worth it. A life filled with peace, purpose, and an unshakable connection to the goodness within and around us. So how do we cultivate this goodness? By choosing every day to overcome, to develop, to act, and to transform. By cultivating good within ourselves, we can become creators of good in our world. What does true spirituality mean in this context? It's a question that invites us to delve deeper into the essence of our being, beyond the superficial layers of societal expectations or religious dogmas. True spirituality is not about grandiose declarations or ostentatious displays of piety. It's not about the labels we attach to ourselves or the rituals we perform. It's about the actions we take, the choices we make, and the lives we touch. It's about alleviating suffering, supporting the weak, healing the wounds of the world. It's about demonstrating love in action, not just in word. This is not to say that words are without value. They can inspire, motivate, and guide. But it's through our actions that we truly express the depth of our spirituality. It's in the quiet moments of kindness, the selfless acts of compassion, the gentle words of encouragement. It's in the way we treat others, not just when the world is watching, but when no one is watching. And what of the principles of love, justice, and truth? How do they fit into this picture? These are the North Stars that guide our actions. They are the benchmarks against which we measure our deeds. When we act out of love, we are acting in alignment with our highest selves. When we uphold justice, we are honoring the inherent worth and dignity of all beings. When we seek truth, we are acknowledging our interconnectedness and the universal laws that govern our existence. But we must be vigilant. Sometimes harm and violence can be done under the guise of goodness. It's important to continually check in with ourselves to make sure that what we consider good truly aligns with these principles. It's not enough to simply believe we are doing good. We must reflect on our actions, question our motivations, and strive for authenticity and integrity in all that we do. True spirituality is about shining with concrete deeds, not proclaiming oneself light. It's about illuminating the world with the radiance of our actions, not the brightness of our words. It's about embodying the change we wish to see in the world, one act of kindness at a time. How can we walk this path of true spirituality, you may ask? Let's dive into this together. True spirituality is not simply an abstract concept, it's a journey, a constant progression of self-improvement. It's the pursuit of the highest ideals and principles, such as love, compassion, mercy, and justice. These are not mere words to be spoken, but actions to be lived out daily in our interactions with others. The first step on this path is to embrace the commandments of love, compassion, and mercy. Love is the cornerstone of true spirituality. It's not about romantic love or affection, but an all-encompassing love that extends to all beings. It's about being empathetic towards others, understanding their struggles, and offering support when they need it. Compassion, on the other hand, is about recognizing the suffering of others and doing everything within your power to alleviate it. It's about being there for others in their darkest moments, offering a helping hand, a word of comfort, or a listening ear. And then there's mercy, the ability to forgive, to let go of resentment, and to offer second chances. It's about treating others with kindness, even when they've wronged us. But walking this path also means renouncing selfishness and violence. It's about putting the needs of others before our own and choosing peace over conflict. It's about recognizing that we are all interconnected and that harming others only ends up harming ourselves. By following these principles, we align ourselves with a higher plan, a divine blueprint. We become instruments of good, channels of light in a world that can often seem dark and chaotic. We become catalysts for positive change, not only in our own lives, but in the lives of those around us. This is the essence of true spirituality. It's not about lofty ideals or grandiose claims, but about practical, everyday actions that spread love, compassion, and mercy in the world. By improving ourselves and helping others, we can become conduits of light in this world. So let's embark on this journey together, and let our actions speak louder than our words. In conclusion, our journey through the concepts of good and evil has been a deep dive into the roots of our choices and actions. We've explored how these choices, often fueled by our desires and ignorance, can lead to evil, while our capacity for love, care, and service can bring forth goodness. We've dissected the roots of evil, understanding that it arises from selfishness and the pursuit of power. It's a sobering reality check, a mirror held up to our own actions and motivations. We've realized that evil is not an external abstract force, but a result of our own choices and actions. On the flip side, we've reveled in the manifestation of good. We've seen how love, care, and the intention to help others can create a ripple effect of positivity. The radiance of goodness is not just an abstract idea, but a tangible force that can be cultivated and spread. Our path to spiritual self-improvement has been illuminated. We've learned that each of us holds the power to overcome our vices, to nurture our virtues, and to perform good deeds. It's a call to action, an invitation to be the change we wish to see in the world. We've delved into the concept of true spirituality, not as a collection of lofty slogans, but as a series of actions aimed at alleviating suffering, supporting the weak, and healing the world. Realizing that it's not enough to proclaim ourselves as light, we must shine through our actions. Finally, we've tread the path of true spirituality, understanding that to follow the highest ideals for the good of all is our true purpose. We've grasped that by improving ourselves and helping others, we can become conduits of light in this world. By reflecting on the nature of good and evil, we can make the conscious choice to cultivate good within ourselves and our world. Let's embark on this journey of spiritual self-improvement and become creators of good.